Good.
Very good, thank you.
First, I watched, one of the best things we could do is help support one another in this business. And so Lynn's got a great post up. She's editing it a little bit, I think. But go show her some love on her post. You don't have to act like you're another distributor. Just say, oh my goodness, I started that, or I used that, or anytime you see something that we post or you post in Lifespan Matters, on the team page, or if you see, Cheryl's post, Lynn's post, anything, give them some love, because that means the algorithm will show it to more people instead of just the original. So, so important to, write a line or whatever, help one another. So I try to go around randomly and look at everybody's sites, but I don't even see Bobby's stuff anymore unless I purposely go look. So they have it rigged. So anyway, the other thing is, hey, Jaya, do you have a birthday tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Or are we skipping it this year? Happy birthday.
It's the anniversary of her 39th birthday again.
Right. So we'll be sure to celebrate that in Phoenix. So
We'll get you an umbrella drink in Phoenix.
yeah. That is awesome. So I just had a conversation with somebody. I kind of thought maybe this was a good time to go over this. Part of what I've been doing on Facebook is, I meet somebody, I friend somebody. But one of the things I'm doing is taking them off social right away, whether it's Facebook or Instagram. I set up a meeting to just do coffee or something with them, because it's always easier for any of us to be able to meet with somebody and to, you get that feel, see, and touch. When you do just the messenger in Facebook, it's one dimensional. It's hard to see or gauge excitement, sometimes what they mean. So, if you're going back with somebody, just say, hey, would you be open to having a cup of coffee? I don't even drink coffee. So it's like, you just want to get in front of somebody. But there's also statistics out there, and if I had time, I was going to look it up. There are statistics that there's a reason why big corporations pay big money to take people out to dinner. You see like businessmen will go out to dinner, and a whole bunch of them will spend. Chad was at that one dinner that one night, and it was like they each spent $300-400 a head. And I was like, who could even eat or drink that? It was just like, it was a nice restaurant, but it was just crazy.
It's funny, we had the waiter the next day that he had the night before,
Yeah.
and he told us about it.
Yeah. So Chad is our son. Sorry.
Yeah, Chad is our son.
So anyway, there's statistics out there. And if you Googled it, there's a reason people do meet over food. Food is more social, and you'll probably go a lot further with what you're doing. And I'm not saying it has to be a big meal or anything expensive. A cup of coffee, you buy somebody a cup of coffee. There's a lot of stuff that goes in it, psychology behind the whole thing. But like I said, it allows you to feel, see, and touch that person, not literally touch, but that they can see your excitement, they can hear your excitement. So, and when you're at these meetings, and this is what this person was asking me, like, how do I get it from wherever it is? So, if we're talking on Facebook and something comes up, or I see a post that, maybe they're not happy with their career, or they've got some aches or pains that are going on, that can start the conversation. But, and I should back it up. I always start when I meet with that person getting reacquainted, asking them more questions, maybe about a kid we talked about, whatever it is. And then I get into whatever their pain point was. I start to ask them a little bit about that and tell them how I might be able to help them. But before I leave, I always let somebody know that we have, and I know Zoom, you've done a lot in person too, and maybe you can tell us, if you use the same path, but I always mention the flip side of it as, once you love these products, and I know you'll fall in love with these products, you're absolutely going to love the opportunity. So do I expect them to sign up as a distributor today? No, I don't. But I've planted it in there that there's a lot of money to be made with this company. And so meeting with people, you can actually help accelerate it. As I'm getting them to talk, I have them, tell me maybe about their sister or their mother or whoever might also be maybe they're in a profession that is a profession I would love to get at this. Maybe they're, a Pilates coach, or I don't know what they are, but maybe there's something that would be an avenue to, you know, what we do here. When you're done with that meeting, and don't keep it too long. You should never spend that long with a person, 20 minutes, half an hour. I mean, you don't have to spend a lot of time with them. But when you leave that meeting, you need to write down what they told you, because you'll never remember with all these different people. It's easier if you write it down, what they said about their sister, their mother, their job, what they liked, what they didn't like, because that'll help you pick up the conversation the next time you talk to them. So I just wanted to go over a little bit of that, because it seemed the last few calls I got, that's where people were stuck. They finally got that appointment, you know, off social, and they're like, you know, is it better to meet with that person over food, or what do I say to them, or how do I bring it around, or, but I would always suggest, you know, go meet for coffee or something, particularly that first meeting. It's a quick meeting. You know, it seems to work real well that way. And like I said, you can accomplish a lot in 20, 30 minutes. That first meeting is a fact-finding mission for you. It is not in any way, don't pull out an application, or I wouldn't even have paperwork on me. I mean, I would have it on me, but I would not pull it out unless it really, they really asked for it. You know, I'm always prepared. I always have samples. I always have materials, but I don't pull it out until we've gotten to that point where we need to. And sometimes people jump the gun on that as well. So is that kind of the same format you follow? I know you meet a lot of people in person. You're muted.
You're muted, Zuma.
I'm sorry, I caught you off guard.
I'm on my phone, and I had a screen where I could see everybody, and then
Okay.
I couldn't find the microphone. It
Mhm.
depends on that on the event. I belong to different women events. So sometimes when they ask me, I'm right now I'm the queen of collagen. That's what I do. So everybody was like, whoa. She said, let's talk later, and then I can have a conversation. I always mention that $10, because if you're in a group, they see themselves buying it one person, and then the other one piggyback from the $10.
The friends and family. Uh-huh.
Yeah, I mentioned I can throw out the money if they can make money, but I read the room.
Okay,
And
so
see
you're
where
talking to a whole bunch of people. You're not talking to an individual.
Usually where I go, they introduce each person has a time to introduce themselves.
He does a
So I
lot
brought
of
you to-
networking meetings, April.
Okay.
Exactly. So we have coffee, or we have a breakfast, but then this special group, they always ask, please tell us a little bit about you. What brought you to this group? Because it's like a support group for new people that have moved to Charlotte. So depending on the group or what I do, yes, I do that. I always try to filtering. I wait for the time, because you have to listen. So when I'm listening, I can say, okay, according to the conversation, I can bring the business.
Okay, cool. So, you know, that's in a group meeting. So it brings to mind to me that if you're at an event, like if I was at Zoomer's meeting, but I didn't get to present what I was doing, or if I was at a large group, ladies lunch, or I do this at tennis, in fact, because in tennis, we don't have a lot of time and people are there to play tennis. They're not necessarily there to, you know, have me pitch them on something. So, or maybe, you know, when we used to watch the boys' baseball games, you know, somebody would say something and I will say, you know what, I've got something that might help you. Let me get your number, always databasing, always collecting, you know, phone numbers, emails, Facebook, whatever it is. And I'll send you a video for that. So that, again, you do that follow-up after you leave. You don't sit there while everybody's around you and listening and you can't, you know, you're distracting them from whatever they're doing. So again, you know, just say, I might, and I don't know how often I say that. I might have something that'll help you. Let me send you a video. What's your number? And you can kind of just hand your phone to the person and they'll just put their number in right away.
Can I
It
go?
allows you to continue to do that follow-up. Then you can start texting people. There are a lot of things you can do, but don't give them your number. That's of no value. You always want to get their information. And people are a little flattered too when you show sincere interest in them. And, you know, I want to get you out something. So, you know, keep that in mind.
Okay, so I got 4 different things I want to go over with you, so please grab a pen and paper if you haven't already. But guess what? This is Phoenix Week. We started talking about it months ago, and it's here, you know, so everybody's flying out on, I guess, some on Wednesday and the others on Thursday, but it's our global event in Phoenix, and obviously there's going to be new things mentioned. If you are not attending in person, please don't forget to watch it virtually. You know, just register virtually so you can at least be seeing, learning, and what's going on live. You know, although it's virtual, at least you'll be informed and live. So don't forget to do that. You can do that online. I got to say this, Katerina, I can't wait for you to sign up. I keep asking the good doctor when that's going to happen, but I love the fact that you're using your time to learn more about the business before you do, but we are looking forward to you signing up. So, just so you know. Okay, the second thing is our collagen launch is a week from Wednesday. Okay, it's October 26th. I sent out the notice on it. If you didn't get, you know, the invitation for it that you can share with other people, just text me. Okay, just text me and I'll send it to you. I did post it in the group on Facebook, and I sent it to the people that are part of our text group. So if you didn't get it, let me know. But let's between all the new customers that have come in the last couple months, all the new distributors that have joined, I think we can jam the Zoom line and make people not be able to get on. That's my goal, to fill up the lines where people are saying, oh man, I can't get on. It says it's full. And that would mean we got to get 100. Okay. Our account will hold 100. And so let's invite every guest. Invite every customer that you have, invite every distributor that you have, and invite every prospect that you have. Okay, do those 3 things. So it's a week from Wednesday, the 26th at 8:30 Eastern. So Central at 7:30, obviously West Coast 5:30, and so on. So and if you need the invite, let me know. Okay, this is not firm yet, but we're getting real close, and I want to let you know what might be coming. Okay. And pay real close attention, Jaya, Zuma, Ira, Katerina. It looks like we're going to do a meeting in Chicago, okay, on Saturday, November 5th. Now, what I mean is an Activate meeting where corporate is going to support the meeting, send a corporate person in, they're going to bring some swag, they're going to bring some samples of collagen to give to the guest and stuff. So right now, Jaya and Catalina just need to firm up a couple things, but I have the date on hold with corporate. Okay. And if they approve it in the next day or two, then April's going to fly in too, and April will be able to do the meeting. Okay. So I just want to give you a heads up to save the date and write it down. We will know within 48 hours. Okay. Yeah. And, you know, with the amount of new customers in Chicago, you could bust the walls open with this. This could be the official launch of Chicago. And some of you may not be aware of it, but Angie Harper and Tara Wilson have a new Elite Pro 7 in Chicago. Wow. So I'm just letting you know, she just made it a couple weeks ago, the end of last month. She came originally from Brentwood, California, and moved to Chicago a couple years ago, but there's a brand new Elite Pro 7 in Chicago. I believe she's got an athletic or sports background, does a lot with athletes and sports, but I don't know her. She's brand new. Okay, and one last thing I want to share, and then I want to give you guys a chance to comment and discuss whatever it is that might be going on in your businesses. But along the lines of what April was just sharing, I always, I do the birthday messages on Facebook. And again, you're only gonna have the birthday messages based on how many friends you got. Okay, so this may not be enough for you. If you only got 400 or 500 friends, 600 friends, it's not going to work the way it is for me. Okay, where I'm close to 5,000 friends. So every day I have 15 to 20 birthdays. Okay, every single day. So it's a different, it just depends. If you haven't been adding friends for the last couple of years, then you're only going to be able to work with the number you got. Okay. But what I'm about to share with you is I consider that my semi-warm market on Facebook. They're not people I'm really friends with, but they're people that I've gone back and forth with. Okay. And what I mean by that is when I text them a message, okay, I'm obviously wishing them a happy birthday, telling them I hope it's their best year ever, blah, blah, blah. Are you doing anything special? And the are you doing anything special is where the conversation gets going if they get back to me and say what they're doing. Let's say they're going away for the weekend. I get to ask them, do they travel a lot? Is that something they get to do all the time? If they're going out to dinner, I get to go back and forth with them, and I encourage that dialogue back and forth. So when we have a launch like we do next week, and I want to ask them about collagen, okay, and I'm not just inviting them to the launch, okay? My next thing is I'm asking them, are they familiar? Have they heard of collagen? Okay. And I bring that up, and then depending on the dialogue, I go back and forth with them with that, and maybe send them a video or the before and after pictures, okay, on that. The reason I'm doing that now is I'd like to invite them next Wednesday, okay? So I'm warming them up before the live, event comes. So I'm just giving you, some ideas on what you can do. I've tried it the other way. Okay. And April told me not to do it, but you know me, I'm going to do whatever I'm going to do. Okay. But where you just invite somebody that you said happy birthday to regardless, and that don't work. Okay. It doesn't work. I can invite 100 and nobody will get on. Okay. So now I'm doing the preliminary work to warm them up. Okay. And establish, and it's amazing how in-depth some of these conversations have gotten, in particular with travel. Most people only fantasize about traveling. Very few people get to travel the way some of us do. Never mind all over the world, okay? So when you can start to go into areas like that, and it could be anything, their husband or wife could have surprised them with a party, could have took them to Vegas, it could be anything, but it really gets the conversation going. Okay, so make sure with your birthday messages, if you are, wishing people a happy birthday, that you're asking them to respond. And what I mean by that is the last thing you say to them is a question. Are you doing anything special? Are you going out anywhere? Are you going anywhere special to celebrate? Something like that is encouraging them to get back to you. And if you have any familiarity at all with what they say, you can continue it, or you can say, I always wanted to do something like that. That sounds really interesting. Have you done that before? Tell me more about that. You get a chance to continue the conversation with people. I'm always looking for them to go into the world of business, the world of travel, or the world of sports. Okay, those are my things. Those are my hot buttons. That's the three big things that I want to talk. So I'm hoping they go in one of those directions. But if not, I can say, hey, that sounds fascinating, man. Have you been doing that a long time? Tell me more about that. Like if I came across Allie, okay, and I know she likes to jump out of airplanes. Now, fortunately, she uses a parachute, but you couldn't pay me enough to jump out of an airplane with a parachute or no parachute, okay? You couldn't do that, but I would say, wow, how long you been doing that? has there ever been a mishap? I mean, I ask crazy questions, but I am curious about people that do that because I would never freaking do that. Okay. It's just, those are thrill seekers. You know, I'm not a thrill seeker. I mean, so it doesn't matter what they say. It's a conversation starter so you can warm them up a little bit so that you can pop that college in question or that launch on them. Okay, that's all it is. So, so anyway, I've limited myself to sending, a collagen message. I've limited myself to no more than 15 a day, invites on that. So I started a few days ago. I've sent out about 45, and 5 of them have asked for more information and a video to see. And, to send, copy and paste a message with their first name on it takes about 2 minutes to 15 people. Okay. And, so that took me a grand total of 10 minutes, and I got 5 people looking at information and videos. Okay. So, just giving you some ideas on how you can get conversations going with more people. Okay. And, April, do you want to add anything?
No.
Is there anything I left out?
No, I think we got everything, so.
We're supposed to get a more detailed update tomorrow on the back order of collagen, but I think it's going to be better and less painful than we thought. It was going to be. I think it's going to be shipping sooner than we were anticipating. I knew there was a lot of money spent on getting things air freighted to where they needed to be. So and it had nothing to do with us this time. Our manufacturer, did proper ordering, but when you sell 400% more than you asked them to make, and then they need to get some more supplies, then you have it air freighted instead of you get it off the ship and get it air freighted in. And, so obviously the projections have changed into millions of bottles from thousands of bottles, but we'll be okay once we get through this one. But
my 5-month supply has come already.
hey, at least you had
I'm
it.
happy.
At least you had it,
Don't tell anybody.
We have a year's supply, but we already sold a third of it, but it allowed us to do business where we would have been frozen for 3 weeks because we had some stock. It allowed us to do some stuff where we're not
That's
waiting.
it with me.
Yeah, it allowed us to do some things. So, but open it up. Anyone got any questions, comments? Is there anything that been on your mind that we didn't touch upon?
But you were talking about having conversation with Facebook friends. The person who I signed up today, it's been almost maybe more than a year I've been friends with Facebook and Facebook. And she lived in Chicago area, but it was no way. She lives very far. There was no way I could have met her. Went on, invited her, everything I did. Ultimately, when the collagen came, I sent everything and I said, so ultimately it materialized today that she drove all the way and came. I was not going to make her sign up anything till I saw her, because I wanted to make sure she's genuinely interested and she wants to do the business. That's why it took me.
Again, everybody's got their limitations on what they'll do or not. I mean, I know April is pretty flexible, but you got to use your own judgment based on how the conversation has gone to that point. Okay. I mean, you just, you felt this was the right time, and it's got to be the right time for them. And when it's the right time for them, they'll drive a couple hours if it's the right time for them. If it's not, okay, then, maybe if you're 20 minutes away, they'd find a way there, but they're not going to drive a couple hours. You just got to wait till we always want it on our time, but it's only going to happen the right way when it's on their time. And it's up to us to keep them informed in the meantime, on what's going on. So when something comes up in their life, they think of us. That's the whole point. And Anyone else?
Just to clarify, when you're talking about collagen, the video that you sent is Dr. Zen video
The
or not?
5-minute one with the
company.
doctor,
The company one,
the
yeah.
company one, yeah.
It's in the app.
Okay,
It's
with
in the app. We have it
dermatologist.
on our website. It's the 5-minute one with the doctor in it.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's the one. Okay.
That's
Now,
the
we're
one.
gonna get this leaked, but there's 3 new videos coming out from the company at Global. Okay, so I don't know, we haven't seen them yet or whatever, but we know there's 3 new ones, so we'll be able to pick and choose from a few other things. You know, and then my next thing is if they show an interest in the business or they become a customer with the collagen, then the next thing is I send them a replay of our, 25, 30-minute launch. You know, I send that, unless we have one coming up in a few days where it's going to be live. And then, you're always going to do better live. And let me explain something to you. The replays are great. Okay. And I'm glad we have them and they're good for business every day. But I want you to understand the difference. Okay. When you get them on live, and that's why I'm talking about getting over 100 people on next week. When you get them on live, you have to realize they are a part of the game. They're in the game. You can see them on the screen. They see themselves on the screen. They're interacting. It's live. It's like being at the football game versus watching it on TV tomorrow. Okay. There's a huge difference between, it's just what April was just talking about. Okay. When she said meeting with them in person, something special happens. Well, you know what the special is? It becomes real. That's the special. See, it becomes real. So when we have them on the live one, you're going to get so much better results than because they're in it. When, there's a reason at the end, when I bring everybody back on the screen, I want everybody to see their face. I want people to see. Okay. So we're always going to get better results when it's live, but if they miss the live or if we're doing business day to day, you use the replay. Okay. I mean, that's how it works, but it's like April trying to get somebody to do something on Facebook or on the phone versus meeting them at Starbucks and spending a half hour, 45 minutes with them. That deal at Starbucks is much more likely to happen. Look, they made an effort to be at a place at a certain time. The odds go way up just on that. So if somebody makes an appointment to be on a live Zoom with us for a half hour, their stock goes up dramatically versus them getting a link for a replay that they can watch at their convenience. Nothing wrong with that, but the stock value is not as high as if they made the effort to be there at 8:30 Eastern time on Wednesday. Okay, that means they made an appointment. That means it's a priority. So that's the difference. Okay. So you say, well, I can just send everybody the replay. Well, if you haven't created a desire in them to watch the replay, you're just sending a text or an email to nowhere, because you haven't created the desire there. I always make a point, just like, and Ira will tell you, I've asked a number of times about Katerina. Okay. That's why I figured it was time Katerina know that Bobby's asked about her, okay? Just in case she didn't know. I mean, it's like, I see her enthusiasm on the screen. I want her in the business. I mean, she's excited about it. I can tell. There's things that you can tell, but I can tell because she's live. I can see her. So that's why we put the extra emphasis on same thing with Global. And I understand not everybody can go for 3 days. I get that, okay? But the difference in being there live is by far the biggest results. The second best results are being there live virtually. Okay, that's the second best results. The third best is watching the virtual replay at another time. You see what I mean? It's all good, but they do stack up differently. Okay, so that's all I'm sharing, on that. So who else got any thoughts or ideas or questions?
Hey, Bob,
Yes, Steve.
one question. You said you changed your invite as far as Facebook. people that you were wishing happy birthday? What
Well,
did you
it's
do?
not an invite. It's my messaging to them after we've gone back and forth about their birthday.
To offer them the video, the product
No,
video?
it's asking them if they know anything about or if they've ever used collagen.
Okay,
It's not, I'm not offering them a video. I'm just trying to see where they're at with their knowledge. And if they, and in that message, I say, you know, there are some, this is the world's first activated liquid collagen. And we're being told by people who have used other companies' collagen for years and years that after 30 to 60 days on ours, they're getting better results than years of use on other companies. So, but again, it's based, you can't use my message because my message is Bobby. Okay, you got to write your own message. It's got to be from your heart. It's got to be real. And again, these are people that I've gone back and forth with dialogue. And I may have talked to them about baseball. I may have talked to them about football. I may have talked to them about other things. So I am not doing the cold market text of just inviting them to something if I have not gone back and forth with them a number of times. I will wait and be patient on it, okay? But I am,
okay.
but that doesn't mean I'm not going to be inviting a bunch of people. I have a bunch of people I'm going back and forth with, you know,
Okay.
so, but those birthday messages are just a great way. But if you're not conversing with them, you know, it's not going to have any value sending them something. It's,
See, I look at the birthday messages, and this is how I do it, right or wrong, as a sifting process. If they get back to me, if they answer my question, if they're talkative, they stay. If they're not, 2 years go by, they don't answer my birthday message, they're gone.
they're deleted.
It's
Yeah.
just a sifting process. I mean, it's
Okay,
just,
all right.
that's, yeah.
Well, and you got to
Might be a little
remember,
cold,
April's, not only is she already got 5,000 friends, but she's got about 10,000 or 8,000 followers. She can't waste her time with people not responding to her because she has no room for new friends. So if they've not responded for 2 years, they gotta go because she's got to be able to accept new friends. So, but that's the result of the last 2 years of friending people every day. I mean, that's so not only are her friends full, but she's got thousands of followers now too. Okay. Now anybody can follow anybody. You do understand that. You don't have to be friends with
Well,
them.
you don't have to be a friend.
You don't have to be a friend. So
In fact, that's better. If you can follow somebody, you're not filling
no, it's
up.
better if they follow you, but yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Right, right. The
Yeah,
other
if
way.
they follow you. Anyone else?
I think Cheryl has something.
Go ahead, Cheryl.
Sorry, I'm getting my nails done. So it's a little loud.
You're
in here.
allowed.
April, I was wondering if you could give me a call in about 30 minutes. I should be done. I want to ask you something
She's
on
got a
as far as
coaching
Marina.
class. You got a
Okay.
Oh.
coaching class, April, so just pick a little different.
Well,
time.
after is fine.
Okay,
After is fine. I'll be up.
okay.
I appreciate it. Thanks.
Uh-huh.
When is New Orleans?
We don't know. They're gonna announce that this weekend. It's in
Okay.
March.
March, okay.
Yeah, it's either the second or third weekend in March. That's when it always is, but they'll announce it this weekend.
Okay,
What we'd
Thank
like to do in New Orleans in March is just get a couple big Airbnbs near each other that would all be real close to each other. You know, with the Airbnbs, but we'll see. We're doing that this weekend for the first time, and but it, you know, dramatically saved people versus a single hotel room. So we'll see how that goes. But March is when it's supposed to be.
I do have a good note. I picked up a prospect here at the salon. She's a nurse. She's anxious to hear about the collagen.
Good.
So following up with her tonight.
There's a lot of collagen is one of the best icebreakers we will ever come across in our lives for just just an icebreaker to get a conversation going. Even somebody like me that, just out of ignorance, just thought it was something that ladies used on their face. I didn't know if it was a cream, a drink, a pill. I had no idea what it was. And when I heard it came from fish, I'm like, man, I was clueless, but when you realize what it does for the body and that we have 10 different strands and 10 different peptides in it and everything else, you get really excited because all the benefits women get, guys get. Okay. We just don't pay as close attention to our faces as women do. Okay. So, but there's so many health benefits that go with the product besides the, the visual effects. So there's a tremendous market. Obviously, women is the big market, but we get some good educational stuff. And I mean hot button stuff with guys involving sexual function and things like that with collagen. And I'm telling you, it'll explode with the male market too. I mean, there's no question. So that is going to be an icebreaker for a long time. There's no question about it. That's just a good conversation starter. And if somebody doesn't know what it is, that's even better because then you can just hit them with the highlights and say, did you know? That's what I always like to say when they don't know. Did you know? And you can hit them with some bullet points, And I can honestly say I didn't know. I didn't know any of it. So April knew a lot about it, but most women do, What else? Anyone else? All righty. So circle November 5th, that's 90% secure. We're just, Jaya, you and Catalina just got to firm up. Okay. And if we have the place, worst case scenario, we have a place and you want to look for something different in the meantime, that's okay. At least to give people a chance to make arrangements and block the date.
Yeah, I would.
Where in Chicago are you thinking about, Bob, Jaya?
Probably
Um,
somewhere near Catalina's office. I don't know where that is.
It will be somewhere in Oak Park or maybe Oak Brook area. I'm also looking at, I know one of my friend who has a big office space and they do rent it out. So I'm going to ask them whether they can allow, but that's in Naperville. That's not in.
You want to stay in the middle somewhere that's
Yeah,
easily
Oak
reached
Brook
by
and-
most people.
Actually, Oak Brook will be very centered because all the expressways come there. That's why I was thinking that if I can get some office space in Oak Brook area, that will be great.
Well,
That's,
let's make sure if we know that Catalina can seat 50 and we can use that, if we know that, then we can go ahead and you can work on a plan B in the meantime, but we're going to need at least 50, at least 50.
yeah.
Okay. And probably a lot more than that, but
And of course, I can
everybody
invite
can-
people.
Yeah,
And of course, I can invite people. And I might even fly there.
Oh, I'm telling you, Chicago is ripe right now. There's a lot of new customers there. There's a number of new distributors got started, but Jay, I'll tell you, we did millions and millions and millions of business in our first company with a weight loss product, in that area. And all of our meetings were always in Oak Brook. That's where all the meetings always were. We did some meetings at Ditka's restaurant, but we're always at the Marriott over there, or one of those hotels. And people came in from around it, So anyway, keep that circled. I promise you within a day or two, we'll have it firmed up. Okay. I just wanted to give you a heads up. So you leave Saturday morning open. Okay. Cause that's what we're targeting. So, all right. For those of you that we'll see in Phoenix, we'll see you in Phoenix. If not, hopefully you'll be on virtual watching. And in the meantime, you know how to reach us. Okay. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Good night.